Hello children, hope you're all well. I know it's unusual to see me presenting an assembly. Unfortunately, we're not in school for me to do it. And unfortunately, what I want to talk to you about today is much better done with a discussion. So it's going to be a lot of me talking, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. So today we're going to be celebrating Safer Internet Day. This is done around the world in 170 different countries. So that means thousands of people in the UK will be talking about Safer Internet Day today too. And it's a day to celebrate all the great things about online and just reminding ourselves of how to stay safe too. So I thought we'd start off with the positives and some of the things that we can do online that make the internet so great. So first of all, playing games. Now, playing games, I know a lot of you do that. A lot of you do it on the Xbox, PlayStation, sometimes on your laptops or your tablets. It's a very popular one. I don't get a chance to do it as much anymore. My brothers still all play on FIFA. Chatting to your friends, this is a big one, especially for me. At the moment, you can keep in touch using different messaging services that are used online, WhatsApp, Facebook, things like that. And it's good to keep in touch, especially at the moment where we're not allowed to go out. We're in lockdown. Video calling friends and family, another important one for me at the moment. And my little girl's just started walking, and I was able to show the rest of the family and some of my friends how she was getting on. And they were all very impressed, of course. Learning new things. I know a lot of the teachers were researching just before this lockdown, because when you came back, some of you were going to be starting topics that you hadn't done before, and sometimes the teachers hadn't taught them before. So some of us were doing lots of reading, so we knew lots of things. We had a good knowledge of the subject before we taught you. Listening to music, one that I do every single day. Spotify. Thank God for Spotify, because without that, on my way to work and on the way home, I think I'd go crazy. It's a nice way of relaxing, especially at the end of the day. And watching videos. I know lots of us like to do that too. Netflix, even that is streamed through the internet, and Amazon Prime, and of course YouTube channels as well. So there are lots of good reasons for us to be on the internet. It is fantastic. It's amazing. We're very lucky. However, there are times when the internet isn't such a great place. And today I want to talk to you about trust. And first of all, trust it's when you have a strong belief that someone or something is honest and they're telling the truth. Usually you get a good feeling if someone's telling the truth. And if something's not quite right, there's always that niggle in your brain that you know something, this isn't quite right. For example, if a teacher told you that you were going on a trip, then you would be inclined to believe them. You'd think that they were telling the truth. However, if your little brother or sister walks in the front room and their face is covered in chocolate and they're saying they didn't eat any chocolate, I think you'd have a hard time trusting them. I don't think that you'd believe them. So, thinking about trust, we're going to play a game. And it's not the way I wanted to play it, of course, but hopefully as I'm going through the slides, I just want you to think, how would you feel if it was you in this position when I talk through the scenarios? Would you trust the information, or would you check the information? There are lots of ways to check information. You might check it online. You might check it in a book, or you might check with an adult. So there's lots of different ways to check. So our first scenario, we have King Cody and yourself in a chat room, and you've just been playing a game. I want you to think, when I've finished talking, you can pause it and have a think about how you feel. Would you trust King Cody, or do you think you'd need to check on what was going on? So, King Cody's put, hey, nice win in the last match. Fancy trading with the purple ice blast? Saw you had 2. Obviously, he wants to trade a card, and you've got 2 of them. Thanks, yeah. What have you got to trade? So if you're giving me 1 card, if I'm giving you a card, I want you to give me a card. That's what's going on here. I've got a super rare star crystal. Send me the ice blast first, so I know I can trust you, and I'll send it after. So we want you to send your purple ice blast, and then he will send the super rare star crystal. Okay, so it might be a card, it might be a part of the game, part of the puzzle. Have a think. How would you feel? Just pause the video and have a think. Hopefully you pause the video, children. I think straight away I'll be feeling curious. I'd be wondering, why does he want me to send it first and then I send it after? I would be thinking, can I trust him? I don't think I would be able to trust him because, after all, he's not my friend. I don't know him because it's obviously saying add friends. So it's not someone I know and I can trust. So I think I would perhaps not send, well, I wouldn't send my purple ice blast if it was me. And hopefully you were thinking that too. Because I'd be worried that once I've sent it, they won't send it back. And that wouldn't be fair. There are official sharing sites online which are looked after by people and they can see exactly what's being swapped online. And these are trustworthy because someone is obviously there to protect what you own and you'll get it back if you don't get what you were promised. But this just looks like a chat room and I don't think it's very trustworthy. So right to be curious on this one, I think. Let's have a look at the next scenario. So the next scenario is a headline. It's a news headline. And it says, scientists reveal plan to build giant freezer to prevent global warming. 1st of the 4th, 2020, that's in April. And it's by J. Oka. So I just want you to think, how would you feel if you read this online? Would you trust it or would you check it? Hopefully you paused the video and you've had a think. Now, if I spotted this online, then I think I'll be quite happy. I'll be having a bit of a giggle because I don't really think scientists are able to build a giant freezer and put the world in it just to cool the freezer down. So it's meant to be as a joke. You can also see the date. There's a clue there. That's April the 1st. The 4th month is April. And April the 1st is April Fool's Day. So I would, yeah, someone's done this as a joke. You can even see the name is Joker. You get rid of the full stop. And often online it does happen. People post things just to make people laugh and have a bit of fun. I think at the moment there's a lot of this going on online just to keep people happy because they can't do what they normally do. There are lots of funny messages and funny things going around. So not one to laugh about. One to laugh about there. Next one. It looks like it could be on YouTube. It might even have been shared on Twitter, and it could be a YouTube channel. And there's been 35,000 views on Kyle Shots 3456 on his video. And it's called Amazing Trick Shots First Time. First time in capital letters. And it's got crazy skills. And then we've also got an emoji with a head blown emoji. Have a think, children. Have a pause. How would you feel if you saw this? Would you be able to trust it? Or would you feel that you had to check it? Hopefully you've paused it there, children. I think definitely if it was me, I would be feeling a little bit curious. Not worried, just curious. I mean, did he really do them all first time? I'm not so sure I'd be able to believe him because there are so many things now that we can do. We can edit videos. We can make things look real that aren't real. And he's got to be some footballer if he's doing all these amazing shots first time. I think Possibly a way of checking it could be to try and look on the internet for things that he's done wrong. There's not really a way you could check with an adult because you'd have to find it out. And also, looking in a book, I don't think is going to be very helpful because there's nothing about Kyle's shots in a book, I would imagine. But I would be very sceptical. I think I'd struggle to trust him that he'd done all these shots first time. So maybe you thought that way too. And finally, children, the last scenario. So the last scenario is of two people inside a chat room, and they've been playing a game and they've gone into a private chat room to have a conversation. I want you to imagine that the green part is you. You are in this conversation. So Green Thunder 2, again, look, not your friend, you don't know them because it's got the add friend button, has said, "Can't believe we've been playing together for a whole year," shocked emoji. You've replied saying, "No way, it feels like I've known you forever. Feels like I've known you forever." And then Green Thunder has replied, "We should meet up in person sometime to celebrate." And then some celebration emojis there. Just pause the video. How would you feel? Have a think. Hopefully, children, that you've paused the video on this one and you've realised that, well, you should be quite worried and shocked as well, possibly, because this person is a complete stranger. You don't know who they are and they want to meet up in person. If you're going to meet up in person, they're going to want your personal information. And we have spoken many times in school, I know you will have with your teachers, about not sharing your personal information online, especially to someone who you don't know. It's even more important. So the thing to do here would be definitely check it with an adult, and they would help you with the next steps, show you the right thing to do, which would be to block this person, because they shouldn't be asking to meet with you. Asking to meet up with you. You don't know them. Okay. So, thank you very much for looking at those. It's important, children, when you're on the internet, just remember, be an internet detective. Question things. If something doesn't look right or it doesn't feel right, then it is more than likely going to be something that isn't right. And if you are ever unsure of something, you need to ask for help. There are some things that I've just shown you that you could check online yourself. You may want to do it with an adult, or you could check in a book. Absolutely fine. Like the news article. I don't think that meant any harm. It was just a joke. You could check to see if that was true online by going on the news. And if there's nothing about it in the news, you can be pretty sure that it doesn't exist. So if you are feeling any of those things that we've just discussed, upset, scared, curious, angry, worried, or confused, then you do need to talk to an adult. Okay, and that could be any adult that you trust, your teacher, your mom, your dad, your teaching assistants, grandparents. I know we're not in school at the moment, but teachers are still available and you can still reach them. But it's probably best at the moment, of course, whilst you're at home, to talk to whoever you live with. A trusted adult, someone you know and someone that you can trust. If you are ever unsure, just talk to an adult. Thank you very much for listening today, children. Hope you carry on enjoying the internet whilst we're off. Just remember, can you trust the person, or do you need to check it? You will have some more work, not some more work, but some work set on Purple Mash by your teachers this week, and it will be me presenting the lesson. So I hope you enjoy it. Take care, all of you. I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye.